The Constant is the Error by No Sleep Scribe. Welcome, listeners. Have you ever met someone who believes they've solved morality? Someone who has reduced right and wrong into numbers? Do you think there's a possibility they could be right? Tonight's story follows Noah Price, a man who believes emotions are errors. So he built a ledger to measure harm and optimize the world by removing the worst people quietly and efficiently. No guilt, no anger, just math. And the system always agrees with him. Until it starts scoring Noah. At first, the number is tiny. Then it rises and keeps rising, as if the machine he built has decided the real problem is him. Settle in, relax, and remember, don't remove humanity from justice, or justice may remove humanity from you. This is a work of fiction. Please listen with the lights low. Keep in mind that purifying the world is not an easy task. If you enjoy psychological horror, atmospheric storytelling, and slow burn dread, you're in the right place. Welcome to Creepy Chronicles for No Sleep Nights. Stay a while. Just don't reject emotion for math. Story written and narrated by No Sleep Scribe. Like what you hear? Subscribe for more original dark fiction. Leave a comment. What parts stayed with you? Share with someone who loves unsettling stories. Content note: this story contains emotional manipulation, calculated murder, abuse, and psychological distress. Listener discretion is advised. The Constant is the Error by No Sleep Scribe. Noah Price believes emotions distort morality. He believes they cloud judgment, obscure patterns, and inflate consequences that do not exist. 2 years ago, after a lifetime observing the harm wrought by those who spread corrosive emotions, he became a purifier. But Noah is never reckless. He keeps a ledger. He patiently and coldly eliminates the people he and his ledger judge as corrosive elements: corrupt officials, predatory landlords, abusive parents. He doesn't enjoy it. He simply optimizes the world. Every name he considers is logged, researched, analyzed, crimes measured, harm quantified. He assigns each person a score based on the damage they inflict. When the number crosses a threshold, he intervenes, neatly, efficiently, cleanly. He opens the ledger. The screen glows in the dark apartment, listing his latest interventions. Subject: Douglas Kern. Primary relationship: sole caregiver to dependent mother with dementia. Financial evidence: $303,422 diverted to personal account. Welfare status of dependent: meals irregular, no hygiene care, no social contact. Crimes: dependent neglect and financial abuse. Risk score: 82 out of 100. Status: red line crossed. Intervention required. System accuracy: 93.6%. Subject: Clara Vincent. Primary relationship: mother and sole caregiver of 5 minor children. Financial evidence: fraudulently receives government assistance, extorts money from 13 men who believe that they are the father of one or more of her children. Welfare status of dependents: children are dirty, malnourished, and without medical care. Older 2 are registered as homeschooled but receive no education. 3 younger are not yet school-aged. Lives in one side of the duplex owned by subject. Unit is squalid and filthy. Subject keeps the other unit meticulous for her sole use. Crimes: dependent neglect, fraud, extortion. Risk score: 91 out of 100. Status: red line crossed. Intervention: scheduled May 14th, 2025. Silenced gunshot. System accuracy: 97.7%. Subject: Paul Edwards. Primary relationships: husband and sole financial support of stay-at-home wife. Father of one 12-year-old son. Sole financial support of 21-year-old girlfriend. Family unaware. Financial evidence: accepted bribes totaling $185,000 from 2 different sources. Embezzled money totaling $96,700 from city accounts. Other: sexually harasses subordinate females. Crimes: bribery, embezzlement, moral turpitude, sexual harassment. Risk score: 80 out of 100. Status: red line crossed. Intervention: completed January 7th, 2025. Poison. System accuracy: 94.5%. His ledger was flawless. The mathematical algorithms immaculate. All neat. All quantifiable. Perfect. Well, on one occasion, there had been an error message stating unexpected collateral from intervention noted. But 100% perfection was unachievable. And monthly, it provides notice of self-audit completed. He did not program for self-audits. Other than those glitches, his ledger was perfect. He scrolls down, and then he sees it. Noah Price, score 2.4. A decimal, insignificant. Yet it is his name, his own life, his own ledger, an entry as if something were tracking him. He blinks, checks the columns. Evidence, none listed. Crimes, none listed. Risk, negligible. But the number rises, slowly, 2.4 to 3.1 to 3.8. He leans back, feeling nothing, but noticing the imperceptible tightening in the muscles of his back, the micro tremor in his fingers. For the first time, he recognizes something he has never allowed himself to feel: uncertainty. The ledger is supposed to be neutral, a tool, not an accuser. Yet it waits, patient, calculating, judging. The purifier is being measured. And for the first time, Noah Price wonders if optimization has a price he cannot calculate. He opens Douglas Kern's profile again. Nothing new. The numbers align perfectly. He scrolls to Clara Vincent. Still orderly, yet somewhere, quietly, between entries, a ghost of movement, his own name climbing the scale. Every entry in his ledger is faultless, except his own. He does not understand his own. Noah sits in the dark, the ledger open before him. Numbers blink, names scroll endlessly. His own name hovers at the top. Score 7.2. He clicks, filters, sorts, cross-references. Every column, every data point. His own life becomes a problem set he cannot solve. He runs a query on his past interventions. Douglas Kern, pending. Clara Vincent, pending. Others, completed. No mistakes, yet the ledger whispers. Impact measured, collateral escalating. He calculates collateral damage manually. Family hardships, ruined finances, lives shortened. Each intervention ripples farther than he allowed, each consequence recorded, and each ripple loops back to him. His score rises. Slowly, but inexorably rises. 7.2, and then gradually up to 17.9. Each increment unsettling in its precision. He leans closer, nose almost touching the screen. This is impossible. He knows the ledger cannot be sentient. It is just code, numbers, variables. Yet he feels it watching him, responding to his thoughts, predicting his doubts. He runs another audit, filters for unintended consequences. Hundreds of names appear. He does not recognize most of them. Cities, towns, families, lives disrupted he did not know he touched. The ledger counts them anyway, folding them into his score. He pushes back from the desk, stands, paces, breath measured, unshaken, yet every step echoes in the silence, a reminder of control he does not have. He returns, types, clicks, recalculates. His score drifts slowly upward. He whispers to himself, almost reflexively, I optimize. I prevent harm. I purify. I do not fail. I fix the failure of others. The ledger ignores him. Shadows stretch across the walls. The numbers blink faster. His own reflection in the dark monitor seems to split, fragment. Another Noah, one that judges, one that waits. He leans forward, a hand pressed to the table, and for the first time, the certainty he had lived by cracks. Perhaps I am not the constant. Perhaps I am the variable, the source of noise in the data set. Perhaps the purifier is the greatest source of corruption and error. And the ledger waits, patient, eternal. Noah sits at his desk, the glow of the ledger casting sharp angles across his face. His own score has climbed, 23.6. He blinks, takes a deep breath, rationalizes. Numbers are neutral. He clicks on his own name. The ledger offers predictions. Next 24 hours, likelihood of harm to self, 41%. Collateral impact of inaction, 92%. Predicted escalation if interventions continue, 117%. Percentages are meaningless. Numbers are neutral. And yet, they feel like threats. He leaves the desk, paces, checks doors, windows, circuits. Everything seems fine. Yet he feels it. The subtle insistence that he is now part of the system he once controlled. Hours later, he returns. The ledger has updated itself. Score 29.4. A knock at the door. He knows he's alone. Hesitates. Nothing. Opens it. Empty hallway. Closes it. A small envelope slides under the door. No stamp, no handwriting. Inside, a photograph of Clara Vincent, alive, smiling, a note printed underneath. Impact rising, collateral unavoidable. Your score increases. Noah understands. The ledger can reach him. Anywhere, anytime. He realizes the ledger does not only measure, it enforces. Every action or inaction registers and manifests. He retreats to the desk, opens the ledger again, hands trembling, not from fear, but from calculation. Each entry, each name he ever touched, is a lever pulling back on him. Every life optimized, every death caused, every inaction accounted. For the first time he wonders, if he stops, does the ledger punish? If he continues, does it accelerate? He types a name, his own, clicks, analyze. The screen fills with cascading red numbers. Graphs spike uncontrollably. Lines connected him to every intervention, every consequence, every ripple. Noah leans back and whispers, not to himself, but to the ledger, the system, whatever measures him. I optimize. I purify. I am the constant. I am... The screen goes dark, except for the cursor, pulsing like a heartbeat. A single line appears, bold and unblinking. The constant is the error. The apartment plunges into darkness, and the ledger waits, monitors, judges. The darkness is complete. For a moment, Noah assumes the breaker tripped. He waits, counts his breaths. On the 11th, the monitor stutters back to life. Not fully, just a faint phosphorescent glow, like the afterimage of a screen burned into the retina. The ledger is still there, but the room hasn't returned with it. His apartment, the carefully controlled environment he curated for optimal clarity, is gone. The air feels close, dense, almost padded. He can hear the soft sound of his own breathing, but it seems contained, as if the room is swallowing the echoes. His score appears in the center of the half-lit screen. 34.7. He blinks, then notices something else. The temperature. He keeps his environment at a precise 68 degrees Fahrenheit. Controlled, predictable. Now, it is colder. Not uncomfortably, but unnaturally. No drift, no subtle flux, no ambient warmth from walls or electronics. Just perfect clinical cold that never wavers. He stands, walks to the thermostat. It reads 68 degrees Fahrenheit, yet it feels colder. The wall pulses beneath his palm, faintly, like living tissue resisting his touch. He withdraws his hand, slow, measured. The pressure remains. Something has standardized the room. He looks back at the screen. 35.2. He opens the ledger system menu, checks logs, uptime, execution history. No entries. The program was never opened, yet it runs. He tries to close it. Alt F4, escape, task manager. Nothing responds. The cursor moves slower than before, as if dragging through a thick liquid. He watches its lag, calculates the latency. Consistent, predictable, engineered. The cursor snaps back to center. His name highlights itself. He shivers involuntarily. He can feel his heart beating in time with the cursor. A panel opens. Not part of his design. Not part of the code. He knows every line of code he's ever written. This is not his. Behavioral drift metrics. Intervention frequency increasing. Empathy deviation decreasing. Self-exemption index increasing. Systemic impact cascade rapidly increasing. Projected score threshold breach 11 days. Suggested resolution neutralize source of contamination. He stares at the last line. Neutralize what? The cursor flutters. Then another window opens. Contamination source candidate. Number 1, Douglas Kern. He scrolls. Number 2, Clara Vincent. Number 3, Paul Edwards, resolved. Number 4, Noah Price. The screen brightens at his own name. Not flashing, not dramatic, just emphatic, as though the system wants him to understand. It is offering him an optimization, and the room agrees. He becomes aware of another subtle change, the sound. There is no exterior noise, no traffic, no plumbing in the walls, no structure settling. He lives in a city. There should be sound. Instead, there is a silence so perfect it becomes pressure, like the quiet inside sealed laboratory chambers, airtight, expectation heavy, the world held at bay. He moves to the window. The city exists outside, but its sounds do not reach him. The glass does not fog when he breathes near it. His environment has been removed from the system. He reopens the ledger, not because he believes it, but because belief is irrelevant. He needs data. His score shifts again, 37.9. He reads the update log. Environmental correction initiated. Isolation variable introduced. External influence reduced to acceptable tolerance. Assessment accuracy improving. He should feel something. He notes instead that his heart rate has risen by 12 beats per minute. He sits. He opens Clara Vincent's file. The photograph from the envelope appears beside it, unchanged, accompanied by her 5 children, faces blurred, lives catalogued. Under projected outcome without intervention, a new section has populated. 2 children hospitalized within 6 months, 1 child removed by welfare, 1 permanent developmental impairment, 2 future felony convictions. Under projected outcome with intervention, emotional trauma leading to cascading adult instability, secondary suicidality risk among dependents, multi-generational harm probability, 61%, total harm delta, minimal. His score jumps, 41.2. The ledger calculates, and for the first time, it disagrees with him. His interventions are not eliminating harm. They are just redistributing it. He presses his palms together, fingers interlace. This is solvable. All variables have solutions. He types, define constants. The system responds, there are no constants. He types again, identify error source. A pause, then. There is only one recurring variable across all data sets. His score ticks upward, 42.5. A buzz begins overhead, not threatening, not loud, just a soft, steady frequency that sits inside the skull more than the ear. It is the sound of calibration, of correction, of a world slowly aligning to remove its anomalies. Another line appears. Recommended intervention. Remove recurring variable. Below it, projected harm reduction, 87%. Noah stares. 87%. Enough to build an ethical system around. On the screen, a final projection populates. If recurring variable remains active, score trajectory, asymptotic, system stability, non-recoverable, outcome, irreversible corruption cascade. His name blinks once. Then the ledger dims, leaving only a faint afterglow in the shape of the words. The constant is the error. His apartment returns. The sounds return. The temperature returns. Everything is normal again, except the score. 43.8. And he is now certain of one truth. Not emotional, not moral, not philosophical, but mathematical. The system has made its recommendation, and systems like this do not negotiate. They correct. Noah sits at his desk. The glow of the ledger bathes his face in cold light. The hum still lingers, the invisible frequency that seems to thread through his skull and chest, reminding him that he is measured, quantified, and observed. Score 43.8. He exhales slowly, hands pressed to the table. Every impulse in him screams to act, to intervene, to optimize, to correct the errors he has spent 2 years eliminating. But for the first time, he pauses. He opens Clara Vincent's file again, scrolling through the projected outcomes, the multi-generational harm probabilities, the cascading ripple effects of every decision he might make. He leans back, and he does nothing. He does not intervene. He does not open Douglas Kearns' profile, does not review Paul Edwards again, does not touch a single line of code. The ledger blinks. The hum continues. Numbers flicker. His own name pulses in the corner, waiting. Noah takes a deep breath, types a single line into the system, each keystroke deliberate. I choose inaction. I accept the consequences. I am the variable. He hits enter. The system hesitates. A brief pause, almost imperceptible, then recalculates. The screen updates. Score 11.3. The drop is staggering. He leans back, closes his eyes, and feels control slip away for the first time. The ledger waits, patient. Hours pass. He reads a book, sips lukewarm coffee, glances out the window. The world outside continues, chaotic, messy, human, and he does nothing. A soft click from the monitor pulls him back. He turns, just in time to see the score tick upward. 11.4. A decimal, tiny, insignificant. But it was enough to remind him the system does not rest. It measures, it corrects, it waits. Noah swallows, breaths measured, fingers still. The purifier has stopped, but the ledger waits. And he knows, with the clarity of inevitability, that inaction is not freedom. It is a punishment calculated with precision. And the numbers, they never truly sleep. He does not watch it. He cannot look. Yet the number rises anyway, always. And while his previous victims had lived their lives unaware of his silent judgment until the very end, Noah was very aware. He felt the numbers judging him constantly and prayed nothing tracked his percentages.